Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Coach Jeff here with Asiyama Academy, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the 5 standards that I gave my team when I started coaching them. All right. As you guys know, I'm a high school varsity basketball coach. It's my second year as a head varsity basketball coach, and my first year that I became a coach, I wasn't really sure on what to do and how to run the program. But after doing some research, after looking into some things, I came up with the idea that, you know what, I'm going to create 5 standards for my players to look up to and for my players to follow so that they can be the best players that they can be. All right. Now, I see you guys as my players as well. Hopefully I'm one of your online coaches that you guys look to for guidance and as a resource to just get better. And so I'm going to give you guys the same 5 standards that I gave my players on my basketball team. All right. So we're going to talk about it right after the intro. What we like to do, man. Asiyama Academy. So I have a free shooting plan workout. All right. If you guys are interested, all you have to do is email me at asiyamaacademy@gmail.com. It's a good shooting workout. All right. It gives you the basics from how you can start close to the rim and work your way out. Okay. And help you become a better shooter. All right. So I'll send it to you for free. All you got to do is email me at asiyamaacademy@gmail.com and I'll send it right over to you. There's no strings attached. There's no catch, nothing like that. Just send me an email. I got you. I'll send it right over to you. Okay. It's a free shooting workout. All right. It's going to help you become a better shooter. Okay. So let's get right into it. Standard number one. Standard number one. This is number one because it's the most important. Energy. All right. Energy. You got to have energy. Everything that you do, you have to do it with energy. All right. The same way how when you're playing in the basketball game, when you're running from offense, you got to get back on D. You got to get back on D with energy, right? The same way how when you're playing defense and you see a screen is coming, you got to be able to yell it out with energy where the screen is coming from, right? You got to play with energy. Everything that you do has to be with energy. Even if you guys are going to work, whatever it is, right? You got to have a level of enthusiasm and a level of energy when you're doing it, all right? Not necessarily enthusiasm, but you got to have energy. You got to go fast. Shouldn't be doing things slow or sluggish, right? You got to do it with energy. You got to do it to the best of your ability. I'll give you guys an example. When I say bring it in, everybody brings it in by running into the circle and then they're clapping it up, all right? Everybody's clapping. Nobody's walking. Nobody's putting their heads down. Everybody's coming in with a sense of energy by clapping, right? And being able to sprint to the middle. So that's the first standard. Everything you do, you should do it with energy. When you wake up in the morning, wake up with energy. When you're on your way to school, go to school with energy, right? When you bring the ball up the court, bring the ball up the court with energy. When you're playing defense, play defense with energy. Okay, that's standard number one. Standard number two, family atmosphere. All right, family. So when I say family, it's not necessarily saying, okay, call this person your brother, call this person your sister. What I mean when I say family is you got to be encouraging to people around you, right? It's important to do that because when you do that, not only do you lift their spirits up, but you can lift your spirits up as well. Being able to say something positive to somebody or being able to just boost somebody's confidence up, right? If you're playing on a basketball team, maybe this is something you can try. Hey, man, I like the way you pull up and the way you shoot the ball. How do you do it? Like, what do you do? Hey, I like the way you cross over, the way you bring the ball up the court. I'm a fan of that. I just wanted to let you know you do a really good job at bringing the ball up the court. Just being encouraging, right? It's important to do that because when you do that to others, it's easy for it to come back on you. Right? It's easy for people to do it back to you. So you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself in a family atmosphere type of environment. So if you're playing with guys that are negative, then maybe you probably shouldn't be playing with those guys, if you know what I'm saying. If you're on a basketball team and you're a leader, you're a captain, this is something that you can bring to your team, right? Hey guys, I think we should be more, encouraging to each other. I think we should be more positive to each other. I think we should shake each other's hands more. You know, one of the things that I do is at the end of practice, I'll shout one or two people out. Hey, the way that you were talking today was amazing. Everybody go shake his hand. Let's shake his hand, show him some love right now, you know, because that way you can lift this person up, and it also motivates somebody else to say, okay, tomorrow in practice, I'm going to go hard so that I can be lifted up, because it feels good, right? It feels good to be lifted up. Okay, another thing you can do is, for example, I remember one time we had a game where one of my players doesn't really shoot the ball that well. They're usually a really good driver. They're really good at driving to the basket. They hit 3 shots in that last game that we had. And so we went into the locker room and I said, hey guys, first of all, let's clap it up for so-and-so. You know, they've been aggressive. They haven't been shooting the ball well, but they shot the ball with confidence and they hit 3 shots in this first half. Let's clap it up for so-and-so. You know, stuff like that is going to give them the motivation and the confidence to continue to shoot the ball more, or to just continue to do whatever they're doing, right, at a high level. So family atmosphere is very important. The third standard is next play mentality. Listen, whatever you guys do, you got to make sure that you have a next play mentality, because basketball is always going on to the next possession. It's a next possession sport. So you got to make sure that you're always thinking about the next play. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that when you have the ball, you should be thinking about getting back on defense. That's not what I'm saying. You should always be in the moment, right? But what I mean is, if you're driving to the basket and you make a great take, but you miss the layup, now is not the time for you to put your hands up in the air to try to ask for a foul, or to put your head down and be like, oh man, I missed the layup. No, you got to get back. You got to think about the next play, right? Because basketball keeps going on to the next possession, right? If you bring the ball up, or let's say, for example, you get the ball on the wing and you try to pass it inside, but it's a turnover and they steal the ball, you got to hurry up and get back on defense, right? You got to think about the next play. You can't be discouraged and sulk in the moment and be like, dang, I got a turnover, like this is not good. I got a turnover. No, you got to get back. The more you think about the next play, the better you're going to get on the basketball court, right? So you got to think about the next play. Always think about the next play, all right? Never be discouraged. Just be confident. You missed 3 shots in a row, you got to think about the next play and tell yourself the 4th shot is going to go in. You got to make sure that you're thinking about the next play. 4th standard, overcoming adversity. You got to be able to overcome adversity, all right? This is not only on the basketball court, this is in life. Everything in life. Everything we do, we always have to face adversity, right? Sometimes in life, it's not about what you go through. It's about how you respond to what you're going through, okay? So if you had, let's say, for example, you're in the rotation, you play a lot, you get a lot of minutes, but you have had 4 games where you just haven't played well, right? It just hasn't been your game for 4 games straight. How are you going to respond to that? Are you going to go into the 5th game with your head down like, oh, I'm probably going to, have 8 turnovers again. I'm probably going to miss 5 shots again. Probably not going to score again. Are you going to have that mentality? Or are you going to be like, it's the 5th game. You know what? This is an opportunity for me to come out of this slump and do a lot better, right? I'll give you another example. If you guys are on a basketball team, right, and you guys are down 15 points in the 3rd quarter, are you going to be like, you know what, it's over, let me start putting my head down? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to overcome adversity by saying, you know what, I'm going to be that guy to cheer the rest of my teammates on and let them know, hey, we still got this. We can still come back into the game. Because I've coached a lot of games where we've been down 15, 20, 23 points, and we've come back and won the game. And so anything is possible. You just always have to have a good spirit. You always have to have the spirit of competitiveness and the spirit of overcoming adversity. All right? So the question is, how can you overcome adversity when tough times come? If you go to tryouts, let's say it's a 3-day tryout, and that first day You just couldn't buy a bucket. You just couldn't hit a shot. Those next 2 days is an opportunity for you to be able to overcome what you did on that first day, right? But if you're stuck on that first day, it's going to be hard for you to overcome that adversity that you faced, right? So you got to have that mindset of, I'm going to always overcome adversity no matter how bad it gets. I'm going to figure out a way to overcome this adversity. Maybe you've been working on your ball handling, right? You've been working on how you can increase dribbling on the basketball court or shooting on the basketball court, and maybe every day you go to the park and you don't do well and you want to do a better job when it comes to playing. Well, that's an opportunity for you to spend some time on your own and just work on yourself, practice some drills so that the next time you play with them, you play with your friends or whoever it is, that you're ready, But no matter what, you want to make sure that you have a positive mindset so that you can properly overcome that adversity. So that's the fourth standard, is you want to overcome adversity. Now the last one, the last standard number 5 is got to be on time. All right. This is a standard. This is a strict standard that I set with my players on my basketball team, is you got to be on time. All right. If we say practice is at 4, I expect to see you there by 3:45. All right. I don't expect you to walk into the door at 4. I expect you to walk into the door at 3:45 so that once it hits 4 o'clock, we're ready to go. I say bring it in. Everybody brings it in with energy, right? And this applies not only to basketball. Again, this applies to everyday life. All these standards apply to everyday life, right? So when it comes to being on time, you want to make sure that you show up on time, right? That is a very professional thing to do. It shows that you're ready, shows that you're committed, shows that you're serious, shows that you're ready to go. All right. So whatever you do, you always want to make sure that you show up on time. So whether if it's, hanging out with your friends, going to work, going to basketball practice, going to games, you got to make sure that you're on time. The person who's on time is the person that says, I'm ready to show up. I'm ready to get better. I'm ready to learn. All right. So whatever you do, always be on time. If you're trying to make a basketball team, you got to make sure you're on time. If you're trying to be a starter, you got to make sure you're on time. Sometimes it's about the little things. And this right here, being on time, is a little thing that can become a big thing in certain situations. All right. So keep this in mind, guys. These are the 5 standards that I shared with my players, and I want to share it with you so that you can be the best player that you can be when you're playing on the basketball court. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. And always remember, the Lion mentality lives here.